Hey folks, Will Brink here, www.brinkzone.com. Today I want to cover the topic of post-workout carbs. It's a topic that seems to cause a lot of confusion, and much of that of course is due to the marketing of products promising all kinds of anabolic effects and magic effects of their post-workout carb mixture or what have you. So I'm going to try to cover it briefly, and as usual I will link some useful articles below the video. Two articles you would really want to read to get into depth about this topic. One would be they're called The Religion of Pre- and Post-Workout Nutrition, and the other one is called Setting the Record Straight on Waxy Maize. Those two really cover the overall topic really well as far as post-workout carbs, in my opinion. Let's get to the heart of the matter. Maltodextrin and dextrose are pretty much your reference post-workout carbs in terms of their effects on blood sugar and insulin, as far as what you're trying to achieve post-workout. At least in theory, of course, is a fast rise in blood sugar and an effect on insulin, which would increase glycogen storage both through insulin-mediated and non-insulin-mediated mechanisms and such. And there's, sort of a bit of a window post-workout where you can maximize some effects, and you all probably know that, and those articles will cover those topics. So let's just stick to the carbs specifically. Maltodextrin, dextrose, like I say, very much your reference carbs. They're dirt cheap. You can find them in bulk from a lot of places, and they're pretty much what most people would probably use and should use. I think a point I want to make, you've all heard probably of Waxy Maize, and Waxy Maize is not superior to maltodextrin and dextrose, and the studies are pretty clear on that. And Waxy Maize has been pushed quite a bit as this sort of, again, superior carb source that is supposed to be so many times more absorbable and effective, and so on and so on. And the reality is that's not true, at least not according to the studies that exist, and there are a fair number of them. What happened in some instances, knowingly or unknowingly, is some of the sellers of Waxy Maize actually used studies that were looking at another product, which is Vitargo. Vitargo, which is the brand name of this product, is pretty interesting carb source, and on paper, again in studies, it looks to be sort of the Cadillac of post-workout carb sources in terms of its effects on blood sugar and insulin, glycogen storage and such. Now, whether that really translates into benefits in the gym, gaining muscle and stuff, I'm not really that sure of, or not that clear on. Vitargo probably has some clear uses in endurance sports or people doing multi-sessions per day of exercise and such. Whether or not it's an absolute benefit compared to dextrose and stuff in terms of bodybuilders and stuff is unclear, but a lot of people report they like it anecdotally, and as far as stomach upset and stuff, it is absorbed really quickly. So it tends to be a bit pricey, but again, if you don't mind spending the money, Vitargo looks worth a try in my view. If you don't want to spend a lot of money or the extra money, I would say dextrose and maltodextrin are totally acceptable post-workout carbs. And there are some studies, if you look at one of the articles I reference, showing that chocolate milk, as far as an inexpensive carb source, might be perfectly acceptable. It's really not that cut and dry clear that some of these post-workout carb sources are really going to translate into, let's say, additional muscle at the end of the day in terms of bodybuilders. Again, depending on the sport, depending on what you're doing, endurance sports, multi-sessions, can dictate a bit what carb sources you might really want to try. So read those two articles. I think they will educate you, as Homer would say, to this topic. And if you like this video, please, hit the like buttons and the Twitter and all that. And I'll see you all on the Brink Zone. Now, for more information on this topic, head on over to www.brinkzone.com, where you'll find my blog, more videos for reports on fat loss, muscle building supplementation, fitness, health, and longevity, as well as a ton of articles in my free weekly fitness newsletter. And I'll see you all on the Brink Zone.